DMs on. Generally, just sort of go through the kind of stuff we're talking about or seeing in the chat as well. Get some hot take reactions to stuff and go from there. If anyone's got questions about what's going on and what you need to do, feel free to drop something in the chat. I'm just going to drop something in the Discord now to say stream is now live. And we'll go from there. We've got Kirk. Thanks as always to Kirk, who's on the fly trying to pull this together into some semblance of a production. As you can see, we've got the draft screen on the board with the players remaining in the draft order at the top. Somehow, Ginger Shack has landed the #1 pick. It was completely random by ESPN, of course, because we're definitely not up for fixing anything and don't have a technological know-how to do that anyway. Shout out to Richard Fang, who's been very active in the Fantasy League chat, who's just joined the stream. Welcome. This is going to be interesting. I think it's the only description I can use of it. 6 days to go to the new NBA season. That's madness. Absolute madness. Can't believe it's come around so quickly. Next, I want to say Monday, 22nd. What day is the 22nd? Anyone know? Yeah, Havoc more like. Yeah, too right. Oh dear. If I start slurring my words at any point as well, apologies, but I had a wisdom tooth pulled yesterday, so my mouth just basically looks like someone's right hooked it. I've basically been KO'd like Nate Robinson. Was David Stern in charge of the draft order? The envelopes were quite chilly, to be honest. They were cold when I got them out. So, well, one of them in particular was, so we'll see how that works. I like how my face is distorting and it's getting stretched across the screen. So we've now got 8 minutes to go till draft. The draft begins. Let's see what we've got. Shout out to Dave Kell, who's got the he's on his phone with the app, the ESPN Fantasy Draft app, and the stream over the top of it. Fair play. I'm trying to keep the Discord chat open on one screen with the YouTube over the top, but I don't actually need the YouTube open because I'm not talking to anyone. And Kirk's, no, I do need it open because Kirk's going to message me at some point telling me I'm doing something wrong. Yeah, Tuesday. Cheers, Richard. They all blur into one for me. So Ginger Shack's allegedly taking LeBron #1. That's his announcement. Although the king is up for trade is also the caveat to that. So I'm not sure whether he will actually draft that way or whether this is some kind of flex, mind game that he's trying on people. But we shall see. I'm not sure I'd take LeBron that high either in this, but I'm not in it because otherwise I can't do it and this, and I can't handle the pressure. What does ADP mean, Tommy? That means ADP. What's he talking about, ADP? If he means, let me have a quick look what he's talking about. Right, okay. Nick's answered it already. Sweet. Okay. Don't need to answer that. Six minutes till draft. Getting close now. Just going to go in and have a look at the league settings. So for anyone who is interested, we have a head-to-head. So each GM will play another GM for a whole week. So The only week where you get slightly longer than the week is the All-Star break, where you get the first portion of the week leading into it and then the second portion of the week leading out of it, because there's no point having half a week of games. The full season lasts 20 weeks, I believe, and we will have 16 weeks of head-to-head regular season, followed by a 16-team playoff. So 4 of you guys won't make it. It's quite simple, really. You need to win most categories to win. So there are 13 categories. We've got adjusted field goal percentage, which is a little tweak there for anyone who hasn't spotted that.
What?
We've got free throw percentage, 3-pointers made, rebounds, assists, steals, blocks, and then we've got a couple of negative, or 3 negative categories. We've got turnovers, ejections, and technical fouls. So you want to lose those categories in order to win. And then we've got double doubles, triple doubles, and of course points, with points being the tiebreaker. So if for any reason you are tied across a number of categories, the tiebreaker will go down to points. And somehow I've got myself coming back in my ear now, which means that something's unmuted or Kirk's just flipped it round. So now it's all crazy, but it's gone again. So that's all right. Let's see how many we've got coming through now. Can I start 5-point guards? No, Elliot, you can't. Actually, that's not true. You can start. Yes, you can. Because the way the leagues, the way the squads are set up, you can start a point guard, a shooting guard, small forward, power forward, centre. But then you've got another 5 spots. You've got guard/forward spots. That can be your second point guard. You've got your forward/centre spot, so that can't be. But then you've got 3 utilities, which can be any position you want. So, yes, you can, Elliot. Okay, how many we've got now? 4 minutes to go. These 2 minutes are taking. They're ticking down. Is anyone else nervous? Nope. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pick 5. Okay, just saying now since I'm 5th. Discord channel is flying by at the minute. Richard Fang, I'm nervous about one thing. What is it? What are you nervous about? It's gonna be Giannis related, since you've got over the horrific few weeks you've had of him not signing his extension. Hello, Hoopin' and Luton. Hello and cheers. If Ginger Shack takes your boy, so you don't think Ginger Shack is taking LeBron with the number 1 pick? Dr. Jonah, yes, palpitations are completely normal for a draft night. You should know that. You're a doctor. It's a state of heightened alertness, awareness. I don't know what it is. Cortisol running through the veins. Let's see what people are picking. Let's see if we can quickly run through the draft order. So number 1, Ginger Shack. Number 2, we're going to work Nottingham GAM. No idea. Nottingham Gam? Gam. Sounds like a pork-based meat. Pick 3, Liverpool/LA Champions 2020. Okay. Kent Shell Shockers with the 4th pick. Who's the Kent Shell Shockers? Now, there are at least 3 people I know from Kent in the league. So, who are the Kent Shell Shockers? Andre Drummond base, which is a great name. That's Harry Harrison. Captain Kirk. That's obviously Captain Kirk, who's on dual duties tonight, both drafting and making me look relatively pretty. 7th pick is Time to Jingles Scotty Sicko, James Harden, Magnum Pie. That's Elliot Hoopin and Luton. Team Azza, no idea who that is. Although actually, I'm guessing that's Asman who joined the Discord recently. Wade County, don't know who that is. Lupalonics, which is our sole US representation, I believe. Brian Boucher. Wade, hold on. Woohoo! We've started. Here we go. We've started. Number one pick is the number. Team 2, you're on the clock. Who went first? Let's go to pick history quickly. Oh, no, he's on the clock now. He's on the clock. Ginger Shack is on the clock. We are good to go. Here we go. Ginger Shack taking a sweet time, and for some reason it's defaulted to 90-second picks again, so who knows what is actually happening here. This is madness. Come on, Ginger Shack. He's not even realised he's picking first. Well, he obviously does know he's picked first. Is he in the draft? No idea. So basically, if Ginger Shack somehow doesn't pick LeBron with the number one pick, like he said he would, he's going to auto default to the ESPN, and he will be picking Giannis. So I'm guessing we'll find out in less than 20 seconds who he takes number one. He could have set it up already to take LeBron by the end of it, but we'll see. Here we go. 5 seconds to go. And with the number one pick, LeBron James has gone off the table, I believe. Yep. And number two pick, Giannis, is straight off the table as well by Nottingham Gam. Here we go. We're rolling. On the clock, Champions 2020, which is an audacious statement to make. Has taken, number three pick was Nikola Jokic. Shell Shockers on the clock who've picked Anthony Davis. Woo-hoo-hoo. Some big names still left. Well, obviously, because we're only 4 picks in. Drummond base. Come on, Harry, who are you picking? Karl Anthony Towns. Harry's got to put some coins in the meter again for his student digs. Try and get the electricity back up. Hamster wearing in the... Oh, he is in the draft. I can see him there. There we go. And Cat's been taken with the 5th pick. So over to Captain Kirk. Captain Kirk takes Dame Lillard. It's a good shout. He absolutely saved my season last year until he got injured. And then my season crumbled and fell like that end scene in Fight Club. We've already had... No. We can't say you've messed up when you've picked Jokic. A rambling triple-double is what you've picked. Doncic has gone next, followed by Durant. Ooh, Magnum. Yeah, okay. So Jingles, Scotty Sicko's picked Doncic. That's a great shout. It's going to have an MVP season. Kevin Durant, not surprised he's gone to Magnum Pie, considering he's trying to recreate the Brooklyn Nets roster top to bottom. Team Azza, Trae Young. That's interesting. Steph Curry to Wade County with the 10th pick. With 10 picks in, this is good. Yeah, people are scared off by Harden at the minute. I don't know why, because he is consistently one of the best fantasy guys you could pick. There is nothing more that you could get out of that guy from a fantasy perspective. It doesn't matter what team he's putting them up for. And London Lupalonics are on the clock now. That personal trainer, yeah, I reckon those photos where he looks rotund, shall we say, I think he's got one of those back warmers on that you see him wearing on the bench quite often. Because if you look at the photos of him on his first session back in Houston, where he's just absolutely gunning it from 3, he does not look anywhere near that size. But who knows? Big Hazard's just realised he's got Cat. He picked Cat with the 5th pick. We're now 10 picks deep. So no, you didn't give permission hooping and looting, but your father did. Is what I believe the line you usually go for is. Okay, so London Lupulonics have got Jason Tatum, which puts OJ's Mayos on the clock. And there goes Harden. Yeah, no, that's a classic move from OJ's Mayo. I know him from other fantasy drafts because he's my brother. He always goes with James Harden. Team Raw Lions have taken Zion Williamson with the 13th pick. Bit of a risky one. See how many games he can get under his belt. Like definitely production there in terms of points, rebounds, and double doubles, but probably field goal percentage as well. But can you get more than 50 games out of him? Ben Simmons for Team Bean. Kawhi Leonard to Team Evanson. Again, similar thing to Zion. How many games are you going to get out of him? That's the only. I mean, if you get 72 out of him, then that's great. But if you get 50 out of him, you've cost yourself a couple of weeks there. Oh, okay. Apparently, I'm lying about my brother. Oh, God, it's like being 13 again. Devin Booker, Chips and Kyrie Sauce. That's a fantastic name. Who's just changed their name to that? The 17th pick, Bradley Beal on Team Too Good to Be Drew. Nick Whitfield. Russell Westbrook for Raging Bull. Interesting pick. Again, a guy with knee issues. Pick 20. So who's got the 20th pick? Toons. Oh, that's Coach Marv. He's taken Kyrie Irving, which will annoy Elliott. But he's got back-to-back picks because we're doing a random snake. So it will work its way back up now in this opposite order. Yeah, there's some fantastic team names this season. And Bam Adebayo. Okay, yeah, no, I'd take that. The Kyrie, yeah, okay. But yeah, Bam Adebayo is a solid pickup there. Lots of big names to get through on the board on the way back up now. And back on the clock is... Oh no, yeah, it's Looney Tunes again. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Back to I'd eat one more. Takes Embiid. So Kyrie and Embiid. Okay. Let's hope the truncated season results in a higher percentage of games played for them. Ben Bean was hoping to get Bam, but would have had to wait another 4 picks for it. Jamal Murray to Raging. Oh man, Jamal Murray in the playoffs last year was absolutely ridiculous. Andre Drummond. For anyone who cares, Andre Drummond is the reigning rebounds champion. Guaranteed double-double. It's a good pickup for even that high in the draft because that is 10 points, 10 rebounds, and a double-double guaranteed every night, which is 3 statistical categories you're getting a push in. Yep, I agree with you, Nick. Drummond can win you rebounds on his own. Yeah, of course Giannis is, but Giannis goes, you can only get Giannis in the top 3 picks, can't you? Ah, the Milwaukee fan. Ja Morant. Oh, yes, I'm excited to see Ja Morant. Evanson is on the clock. Wonder if he's going to go Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler's still there. Highest ranked available player still is Pascal Siakam. But saying that, there's not really a lot in it. Oh, he's gone with Brandon Ingram. Team Bean are on the clock. these first few rounds is going to be relatively straightforward, I hope. Okay, so Siakam went to Team Bean, LaMelo Ball went to T-Raw Lions, Paul George went to Kevin Love's OJ's Mayo. Paul George, oof. Well, he's got new shoulders. He's back with his MVP trainer. Lupolonics have gone with Jimmy Butler. Back on the clock is Wade County. What's everyone's draft snacks? Beer. No, I was planning to have beer, but I have a massive gaping hole where a tooth was, so I can't, which is really frustrating. So instead I'm on green tea in my product placement mug. Cold green tea. Malteser buttons, that's not a bad shout. DeAndre Ayton to Wade County. I think he's going to have another big, well, I say another big season. He's going to have a solid season in Phoenix this year. His pick and roll game should be huge with Paul George. Let's just hope he doesn't get banned for for substances, or rather flushing agents, whatever it was. Back on the clock is Team Hazard took Donovan Mitchell. We've got Magnum Pie on the clock. Magnum Pie. Karis LeVert. Oh my gosh, you're actually just going through the Brooklyn roster. I wonder how this will work out for you. Captain Kirk. So once we've got a couple of rounds in the bag, we'll start getting some of the guys on to sort of talk about how their drafts have gone so far and what they're expecting and things like that. If you want to jump in it, just let us know, and Kirk will work the magic to get you in. Rudy Gobert has gone at the 34th pick to Time to Jingles, and with the 35th pick, Kirk has taken Vucevic. Drummond Pace have taken. Oh my gosh, Harry's literally trying to draft the Timberwolves, which, for anyone who's watched the Timberwolves for the last 4 or 5 years, knows that probably won't end very well. Big season from Tilo. Okay. Drew Holiday's gone to the Kent Shell Shockers. Champions 2020 are pondering on who to take next. Chris Paul's a good shout, but his hamstrings have let me down in previous fantasy seasons for sure. Sabonis might be good for double doubles. He's got 20 seconds to make his decision. And he's taken Porzingis, which is an interesting pick because it's someone else who can't stay on the floor. I mean, these are high risk picks. These guys who have a history of injuries. Sabonis has gone straight to Nottingham Gam. And we're back to Ginger Shack, who's taken John Collins with the first pick of the 3rd round. So at pick 41. Oh, I missed. No, hold on. He took Michael Porter Jr. at 40 and John Collins at 41. Nottingham Gam have taken Jaylen Brown at 42. Oh, sorry, Jonah. I'll try not to fill the audio void with suggestions. Chris Middleton with the 43rd pick. DeMar DeRozan with the 44th pick. DeMar DeRozan. Not sure how I feel about that. Well, I am sure. It's not good. That would have been a great suggestion, Nick, if we could have chosen who they got. Harry's scrolling through the Minnesota Timberwolves roster for someone who could give him a solid contribution. Ricky Rubio? He's got to be good for 8 assists this season. He took Ricky Rubio. Dear. Captain Kirk on the clock takes Tobias Harris. Oh, Kirk. We'll blame it on your having to run the draft at the same time on the stream. Fred VanVleet to Jingles. Steven Adams with the 48th pick. Elliott has taken a non-net, which is fantastic. Steven Adams, yeah, should get you some solid rebounding numbers. Team Az are on the clock. Kelly Oubre Jr. A bit low down the pecking order. What are we now? 3rd round. A bit low down the pecking order in Golden State for that. But who knows? Wade County on the clock. Flip back into... Oh, who's he taken? CJ McCollum. Okay. Okay, we're gonna get Kirk on. Kirk has agreed to talk. As many of you who will know from the weekly podcasts, Kirk does not like to share his smooth vocals very often, and often relies on sound bites to just carry on the conversation. Point taken. Kirk, you want to jump in and we'll have a chat? I'm relying on him to tell me. I think he's coming through now.
Hi, Mike. Can you hear me?
Hey, Kirk. How's it going?
Yeah, it's bad. How's the draft going?
How's the draft going for me? That's fine. I don't have the pressure of picking anyone. How's it going for you? You've taken Tobias Harris with your recent pick.
I know. What's wrong with that?
Well, nothing. If you want someone who inconsistently produces and is going to be the 3rd or 4th option on this Philly team.
I'll see how I play my picks out, and I'm giving away all my secrets here. Is I tend to go through and pick different teams from my first couple, trying to pick a few different players that might get more points on maybe a lower team than normal.
Okay. So you picked Tobias Harris with the third pick, even though no, I'm not going to argue with you. That's your that's your strategy. Fair enough. So is there anyone in particular you wanted to get but have missed out on that you could have got, not someone unrealistic like the first pick?
I was going to pick Oladipo just then, and then that was sort of, I'm waiting to see whether everyone picks him up. So I'm going to see
So
whether.
hang on. So he's still on the table, and you've told people you're looking for him.
Yeah.
That wasn't what I meant. Just a quick update on the picks.
You can all see my screen anyway.
Well, yeah, that's true. Haven't you blocked that bit off?
No.
Fair enough. Okay. So yeah, I'll just do a quick update on the picks. 51, Kyle Lowry to Luka Lonix. 52, Nurkic to OJ's Mayo, who Nurkic had a storming bubble, average career highs in points and rebounds, albeit for 11 or so games after coming back from that disgusting compound fracture in his leg. Tyler Hero to T Raw Lions, who also had an amazing bubble. Team Bean. Now this is a good pick because the Zach LaVine is absolutely going to put numbers up for this Bulls team. Chris Paul to Team Evanson. Robert Covington to Chips and Kyrie Sauce. I wonder how well Covington's game is going to translate to the fantasy league. You've got steals, obviously, and you've got 3-pointers from him in particular. De'Aaron Fox to Nick, taking Too Good to Be Drew. Raging Bowls taking the injured Gordon Hayward, and ID to one more has taken Malcolm Brogdon. Kirk, you're up in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Where are you up in? I can't see. Oh, you got pick 75. We're now on pick 61. So you got a lot of picks away. Do you know who you're going for next? Assuming Oladipo's not on the board.
Not at the moment. I'm sort of playing it by ear at the moment. But again, I'm trying to. What I done last year was picking through the positions and trying to find people that are more multi-talented, more than maybe their stats.
Yeah, that's key, isn't it? Like, you need people who can contribute across the board. Too often people just get lost in points alone or rebounds alone when you want sort of if you go for a happy medium between both, you'll find that it helps you more in this sort of competition. But I'm not going to tell anyone too much about how to do that either, because I got smashed out in the first round of the playoffs last year, having come, I think I finished first or second in the regular season, so it doesn't really matter. Let's see who we got. So since then, we've had John Wall picked up by Looney Tunes. Rui Hachimura also picked up by Looney Tunes. Clint Capella picked up by ID to one more. I'll keep you on until it's time for your pick, if that's okay, Kirk. We'll just sort of chat. How's it been for you trying to produce the stream? Has it been particularly different to the regular weekly pod?
It's fine doing it this way. It's the actual integration of Discord, because we're using Skype, so I've actually got another laptop set up, so I'm now running 5 screens rather than the normal 4.
Oh my god, it's just a wall of screens.
Yeah,
that's madness. I can't believe that's absolute madness. And so, how have you hooked you into this conversation now? Because I thought I was going to hear my voice echoing more and haven't done.
it was the issue that I've got is that I'm trying to take our Skype feed into Discord. So anyone that wants to join into the Discord chat, they can actually come into our waiting room. You can all actually chat to each other that way, and then we can actually pull people into our live podcast room. So we can actually pick and choose, and then if people actually want to all jump in together and have a chat together that way in the waiting room, you're more than welcome, and then we can pull people in individually.
Yeah, I think that might be a good shout. I know that we've got a couple of other people wanting to jump in as well, so we'll get to them shortly. Mitchell Robinson, is that the first Nick we've seen selected with the 63rd pick? Has gone to Raging Bowl. TJ Warren, the Bubble Jordan, has gone to Nick. Why have you picked him? Oh dear. Okay. Montrezl Harrell's gone to Chips and Kyrie Sauce. The pace of this is I'm quite pleased with the pace of this.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be too many people lingering, so they're either watching it, or they've already done maybe their auto picks ready?
I think there's only 2 people auto picking at the minute because they've been iced out on their logo. So pick 79 Gam is out, and then I think that's it at the minute. But yeah, I just the pace is good. Not like the first time I did it, which was an offline draft and took 3 days or something like that. It was horrible. Absolutely horrible, because we tried to set a 90-second time limit for picks and people just took 3 hours.
Yeah.
I think your boy's still on the clock. Your boy's still on the table. Let me just go back into the players and have a look. Are you still seeing him? Actually, don't
Yeah,
tell me if you are, because it's getting closer to your pick, and no one's going to take. Someone's going to have taken him by then. Cool.
That's
Well,
right.
shall I let
I've got
you?
a few
Sorry,
I've got
go
a
on.
few others. I've got a few others that I want to line up, but look, because everyone can see it, I'm not going to call them out now, just in case.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, we got 6 picks before you go, so I'll let you go and get your strategy in order, and we'll get someone else on shortly. But we'll thanks for jumping in and making sure it all works, and thank you for setting it up as usual. And we'll carry on chatting, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, cheers, mate.
Cheers, Kirk. So that was the legend, Kirk Killick, giving you who he wants to pick next. I'm just going to jump into the pick history. See who's been picked up since. Valanciunas has gone to Evanson. Lamarcus Aldridge to Team Bean. Jaren Jackson Jr., I like this pickup, even though he's out injured for T-Raw Lions. That guy's a walking double-double. Hassan Whiteside for Kevin Love's. Hey, I know what stats you're going after. Okay. Assuming he gets the minutes, this could be big, for the Kings. He could put up big numbers. I mean, empty numbers, but big numbers nonetheless. Jeremy Grant, London Lupulonics. Jeremy Grant, what an excellent presence he was for the Nuggets last year. Defensive stopper. Love the guy. Don't know why he wanted to go to the Pistons, though. I get that they're going to give him the ball more, but it's the Pistons and they suck. Christian Wood has been taken by Wade County. Yep, the Rockets have gone back to having traditional bigs in their lineup. And he might be one of the steals of the off-season, actually. Julius Randle to Team Azza. The second Nick has been taken. We're at that point now where the best Knicks are being picked. It's a shame we're 4 rounds deep and 120 players. Why can't I see the round who's picking? Okay, I'm back. Yep. Okay. I lost the stream for a minute. Then it told me everything had disconnected, but I appeared to be moving. So let's catch up with where we were. Lonzo Ball went 74 to Jingles. Victor Oladipo did hold out for Captain Kirk. Devontae Graham for Andre Drummond base. Andrew Wiggins for the Kent Shell Shockers, and Kemba Walker, who's obviously out till the new year. So that's probably a little high to take him. But for the Liverpool/LA Champions 2020. Miles Turner for Nottingham Gam. I want to know what the Gam is. Derek Rose, Corby Steelman. That's a nostalgic pick, that is. JJ Redick as well. Let's have a quick look now. Okay, I think after pick 85, we'll try and get Harry on. See how he feels about his picks so far, which I believe are Cat, D'Lo, Rubio. And who did he just pick? Devontae Graham? So let's see who he picks with his fifth pick. Dave Kell, Balls. Forgot Kemba was crocked. You'll notice the little red initialisms next to players' names. If it's DTD, it means they're on day-to-day, meaning they're potentially out, but potentially playing. If it's O, it means they're out. By all means, pick a player who's out, but you probably could get them lower if they are out. Remember, you have 2 injury reserve spots, I think, which basically you can just shift them into those spots and then pull them back. He's due back in January, though, Dr. Jonas saying. Yeah, he is, which I guess isn't that far away, actually. I keep thinking because the season's about to start, we're still in October. Buddy Hield has gone to Nottingham Gam. Markel Fultz to Liverpool/LA. Al Horford to the Kent Shell Shockers. And Tyrese Halliburton to Andre Drummond base. Let's get. Can we get Harry on? Danilo Gallinari to Captain Kirk, and the guy who gets injured a lot. Jingles to Jingles. That had to happen. I believe Scotty's GOAT is Jingles. And then Joe Harris back on the Brooklyn train, pulling in James Harden, Magnum Pie. So let's have a quick look. We've got Harry took the 85th pick. We've got him on the line now.
I did.
Harry, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing okay. This is it's not really a double clutch pod, is it? I'm going to say it's my second appearance on the double clutch Twitch channel. At least my voice's second appearance. So hopefully I'll make less of an embarrassment myself as the first time, although my picks would suggest otherwise.
So was there a reason other than just abject fandom that led to your first 3 picks?
Carney Towns I was always going to take because he is brilliant for fantasy. He was last year before he got injured. He was doing bits for me in the previous fantasy league we had. Carney Towns was always going to be my number one because he does it all essentially, apart from get 2 assists. But rebounding points, the occasional blocked shot, he's there. D'Angelo Russell, purely because I feel like with Anthony Edwards and both Anthony Edwards and Malik Beasley, he'll be taking in a bit more of a playmaking role than a scoring role. But he can do it both again. So, I felt like that was a half decent choice. It wasn't the best choice there. It was like 50-50 between. I thought it's a good choice, and it also allows me to follow my absolutely unwavering fandom for the Minnesota Timberwolves. And I actually didn't know who I was going to pick third until I heard you mention Ricky Rubio, and then with 10 seconds left, I searched him in the player name thing and drafted him.
So what ranking did they have Rubio? Because you must have taken him in the 60s.
Oh, I cannot remember where he was. I will quickly check. 76th.
76. Okay, it's not too far ahead then. And then you went with Tyrese Halliburton.
I searched him up quick. I did take Tyrese Halliburton purely because he's one of those guards that does it all in a sense. He did that in college. Did he play in college? I can't remember now. I might be mixing people up. I think he did.
Yeah, Iowa State.
Or he went. It's just because some of them are going abroad now, aren't they? So
yeah.
He gets rebounds. He gets assists. He can score. He's not going to be the leader on the Kings by any means. But he'll just be solid. He'll be a solid option as maybe like the 7th person on my roster.
Yeah, I kind of get what you're saying. 7th person on the roster in the 5th round seems a bit steep for my layman's interpretation of it. Coming on behind Fox and Heald, but hey, you got to go with it. Have you got a particular strategy in mind going forwards?
I'll be honest with you, Mike. I'm not a fantasy expert. I know that. It's good just not to focus on points as you already mentioned today. But I'm just picking people that I know can do decent at different things, and not really thinking about how it's going to factor into the actual fantasy league. If I'm honest, I'm just picking people that I think will do well and hoping for the best. That's my strategy.
Okay. Is there anyone you were particularly after that you weren't able to get?
LeBron James.
Fair.
It's well, actually, I wanted Christian Wood, and I think he was taken 2 picks before the pick I was about to pick him with, and Christian Wood was taken off the table, and it was a little bit disappointing for me because I think he'll do quite well in Houston. I think this next year. So Christian Wood went from my clutches just before I was about to take him.
Yeah, I'm just having a look now to see when you're next up with your picks. Quite a way away. So 116, so 15 picks off. I'll just do a quick breakdown of who's gone subsequently to getting you on. We've had DeAndre Jordan to Team Azza, Josh Richardson to Wade County, Draymond Green to London Lupolonics, Kevin Love to OJ's Mayo, OG Anunoby to T-Raw Lions. I'm expecting big things from OG this season. Marcus Smart to Team Bean, same for him. Lou Williams, Team Evanson. Bogdan Bogdanovic, Chips and Kyrie Source. It's going to be intriguing to see how he fits in Atlanta with that new mishmash. Mike Conley, too good to be Drew. That's a decent pickup. Colin Sexton to Raging Bull. Otto Porter Jr. There's lots that have gone ID to one more. Duncan Robinson to Looney Tunes. Wendell Carter Jr. to Looney Tunes. And Marvin Bagley III to E to one more. That's a lot of people. I'm not going to go through those at all with you. I just thought I'd read them out and catch them up for the people who are watching, who are also at the same time in the draft. So I don't know why I need to do that. So you've played fantasy before. Is this a similar strategy? Not strategy, but the way that this one's set out. Is it a similar style of fantasy you've played before?
I think so. I've only ever done one before, but it was something I wanted to do for ages. And it wasn't until I went to uni that I found I had made enough basketball friends to do one with, so to speak. But we did it on Yahoo, and the draft thing was quite similar. I don't know how the actual points tally and stuff works. So I imagine, again, that's quite similar. But we'll just have to see. I haven't done my research, so to speak, which is apparently something that I should have done. I checked the Dick score before we started, and everyone was talking about their research, and I thought, oh no, I just went in with a plan to draft Karl Anthony Towns.
Hey, sometimes the best plan is no plan at all. All right, well, I'll let you jump back off, but thank you very much for joining. Cool. Just before you go, what was the inspiration? Obviously, you've got a good team name. What was the inspiration for it? Where did you pluck it from?
I have I can't tell you, to be honest. It's in my little bag of basketball jokes to the back of my brain. I have no clue where it came from.
Excellent. Harry's little bag of basketball jokes coming soon to a publisher near you. All right, Harry, I'll let you jump off. We might get you back on again later. We'll see how things are going. But yeah,
Cool beans.
Cheers for jumping on. Speak to you soon, mate.
No worries. Speak to you soon.
Cheers, bye. Okay, so we've also had RJ Barrett go to Raging Bull and Davis Bertans to Too Good to Be True. One of the purest shooters in the league right now. And someone who probably ought to take on a bigger role in that Wizards offense, to be honest. Let's have a quick look where we're at now. Round 6. Serge Ibaka to Chips and Kyrie Sauce. I like that. That's a good name. I think the rounds are starting to slow down a little bit now. We're getting to the point where people are. This is where it counts. This is where I can actually win or lose myself a few head-to-head matchups. And Jonah's going to come on at some point as well. Let's have a quick look. We've had claims of pick stealing. I'm guessing that's not actually the stealing of the pick, but rather the player. Spencer Dinwiddie has gone to Team Evanson. Just going to get Jonah on the line in a moment. See how get his take on how the draft's going so far. Kobe White has gone to Team Bean. With the 107th pick. DeMarcus Cousins to T-Raw Lions. Got to pray for health with him. That's not a good track record. I honestly, if he can be 75% of what he was, that Houston team, that's one of the steals of the summer. Dennis Schroeder. Okay, second in the six-man race this year. An excellent offensive threat, ability to get to the cup. It's whether or not he still has a similar usage rate in LA. And I expect he probably will. They'll probably use him to lead that second unit. And then DeJounte Murray has gone to London Lupolonics. Just trying to get... Okay, so if people want to come in and chat, what you need to do is join the waiting room on the Discord server. So, Jonah, you're on the Discord. There is I believe it's the live podcast channel. So if you jump in there, you should be able to just you should be able to get you in that way, basically. If that makes sense. Okay, we've had a flurry of picks go through. Wow, okay. Thomas Bryant to Wade County, Denny Avija to, I can't say his name still, to Team Asa. All I can say is, does anyone see because he's from Tel Aviv, isn't he? The club he came from, their announcer was like, there's only one way you can say it, and it was he just screamed it, and I can't get that out of my head. Eric Bledsoe to James Harden Magnum Pie, Bogdan Bogdanovic to Jingles, Dante DiVincenzo to Captain Kirk. Kirk, you're killing me with his picks. You're in the 6th round.
Hi, Mike.
Brandon Clark to Andre Drummond Bass. Hello, Jonah. How's it going, buddy?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. I think it's the first time I've got on a double clutch, actually hearing my voice and stuff.
Yeah, although we've
hopefully
referenced you a number of times.
not too painful for everyone on the Twitch.
Yeah, no, I'm sure it's fine. Like, we've referenced you a few times because you are our in-house doctor in training.
Yeah,
whenever I'm like,
on the way, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like, what's this word? This injury? What's this mean? Jonah, answer it for me. So yeah, I think we've used you a few times on the pod. How are you finding the draft so far?
A bit crazy. I mean, I've always been one for in terms of like fantasy sports. I've only ever really done the Fantasy Premier League before, so I have a bit more of an idea about that, of bearing in mind who's getting points for what stats and stuff. And now with this, it's sort of 13 categories. Trying to keep all of that in your head is pretty difficult. But
yeah,
I don't know. It's going okay.
So talk us through some of your picks. Was there any that you were just like, yes, I got the guy I was after, or are there any way you just had to pivot quickly because you just essentially got pipped at the post by someone else taking who you were going to select?
So I would say in terms of it was sort of a bit more blind picking at the first 2 picks I had, the sort of close back to back with Kyrie and Embiid, because I knew I was 19 picks in, which I felt was like appropriate. As a Pacers fan, you never get to pick higher than that. But it was that was a sort of who do I think is going to get points? Who do I think is going to get rebounds? I'll sort out the rest later. Obviously not rebounds for Kyrie, but then I was particularly hoping for Sabonis. So I was a little gutted when that went off a few picks earlier. But was pleased to get Brogdon, obviously because he's a pacer, but also because I knew very high 3-point shooting percentage. Actually now is a proper point guard, gets decent assists, and has like a really high free throw shooting as well. So was pretty pleased with that one.
Yeah, he should be good on the field goal percentage category we've got as well, just in general, not just from 3. I mean, the guy's basically a 50, 40, 90 guy. No, have you got a strategy for later on, or is it just still a case of blind picking, or are you going to flex as to just basically who's available, who can get you a particular stat?
There's a couple of players that you see here and there where you're like, well, if they stick around, I'll take them. But I'd originally tried to, because I knew that coming into this I wasn't going to stay calm, I wasn't going to stay collected. And so tried to create a document for a rough order that I wanted to pick people in, but everything just moved too fast, couldn't see who was going when, and now it is a little bit of a case of scrolling around and thinking, yeah, actually he may score decently in those categories, and quickly flicking along and checking that it doesn't give over 5 turnovers a night or whatever that LaMelo Ball's probably going to do. Like,
yeah, that's pretty fair.
But yeah.
Yeah, no, okay. Sorry, we had a bit of connection thing there. Let me just recap who's gone in the interim since you've been on, and I've got another question for you. Okay, so Jarrett Allen went to the Kent Shell Shockers. Obi Toppin went to Liverpool/LA. Miles Bridges to Nottingham Gam. Dwight Howard to Corby Steelers. Seth Curry to Corby Steelman. Delon Wright to Nottingham. Goran Dragic to Liverpool/LA. Mikael Bridges to Shell Shockers. James Wiseman to Andre Drummond Base, Jay Crowder to Captain Kirk, Blake Griffin to Jingles, Tim Hardaway to Harden Magnum Pie, and Killian Hayes to Team Azza. Your pick is coming up in how far
It's
away?
coming up. It's coming. Yeah, it's coming
You've
up.
got 139. So you got 9 picks
give
away. Do you know? Are you comfortable? Would you be comfortable picking whilst on the phone, so you can talk us through what you're doing, or is that too much?
Well, I've realised I've got 2 picks, so let's. I don't know. Maybe it'll be entertaining for people hearing me freak out on the Discord. I've got one idea. I was hoping for either Mikael Bridges or Jay Crowder, but they've obviously been taken. I've got one idea. I just need to hope they stick around and end up with it. I'm interested in Killian Hayes being taken because I think he's going to be so interesting this season, but I'd be a little bit worried that he may not score so well in some of like the efficiency stuff and if they're putting a lot of pressure on him, putting him straight in as point guard again, sort of turnovers might be kind of higher than you want them, but he's going to be so exciting to watch. Team has an interesting pickup.
Yeah, it is, and that's a difficult situation for any point guard to come into. But the NBA traditionally rookie point guards struggle with their turnovers. Oh, we've just fluttered through a number of picks just then. Who else has just gone? It looked like a number of them. Yeah, okay. So Darius Garland to Wade County, Evan Fournier to London Lupolonics, and Laurie Markkinen to OJ's Mayo. So your team name, ID to one more. Talk us through it.
All right. So similar to maybe similar to Harry. It was something that I'm usually pretty proud of my fantasy football team names, and I've wanted to do one of the. I think similar to Harry, I've wanted to do one of these for a while, but just none of my mates at uni are basketball. I say none. That's very hard. But I have two close mates who are, but not like a wide group. And so there hasn't been a chance to do something like this. But a while ago came up with this. I don't know. Thought it was pretty funny. And then decided to put it in because I also thought it'd be pretty good getting you to say it every sort of 5-10 minutes or so.
Yeah, it's an interesting one to try and. Some of these names that come up as you try and read through them, it does get difficult. Okay, so who else has gone through since? Isaac Okoro to T-Raw Lions, Patrick Williams to Team Bean, and Brooke Lopez to Team Evanson. So we're now 3 picks away from you. We've got Kyrie, Chips and Kyrie Sauce, followed by Too Good to Be Drew, followed by Raging Bowl, and then it's you.
Yeah.
So have you got is there a short list in front of you at the minute, or is it just literally?
It's now every few minutes re-looking up who's there, create a quick short list, try and mentally keep in my head. All right, if he goes, who am I gonna? But I haven't got anything written down now. It's definitely getting more on the flash end of maybe not picking the wrong person rather than picking the right person. I think. I don't know how you've sort of
I get that.
found it when you've done these before and got to this sort of stage.
See, well, I don't know how much is going to. Normally, what I do is I have
are you giving away your
Google
strategies? I don't want to ruin your surefire ways of winning. You can
no, they don't work at all. I've the past 2 seasons I've absolutely cleaned up in the regular season, then been wiped in the playoffs in the first couple of rounds, which has been incredibly frustrating.
Sort of a Milwaukee Bucks sort of.
Yeah, basically I'm Coach Bud of the fantasy world, which is great because he's probably going to lose a job at the rate he's going. You are the next pick, so
Yeah.
I will. We're gonna stay on with you. Here we go. You're on the clock. No pressure at all.
Here we go.
So you can talk us
see
through
what
it if
you
you want, or you can just literally, this is where I'm at and this is what I'm doing.
So, I mean, yeah, I guess. Oh no, they've just gone. How have I missed that?
So what?
no, they
Okay,
haven't
so
just
Brooke
gone.
Lopez, Mason Plumlee, Alfred Payton, and Harrison Barnes have gone to Chips and Kyrie
Okay, so
Source. Too good to be
I
Drew
was
and Raging Bull.
I was putting in the search bar again and again for Bojan Bogdanovic, and he was coming up again and again. But I've just gone for that, and it says he's been already drafted. So
I think
I've
he went a
gone.
little while back actually, Bojan.
Yeah, maybe
Okay.
it's my internet bugging which has let me down, because I sort of couldn't believe he was still there. I mean, obviously he wasn't, but I just thinking of how he when he transitioned to the Jazz and before the injury that took him out, not being able to play in the playoffs, and felt like the Jazz really. I mean, obviously Mitchell went wild in the first playoff series, but he was. I felt he was a big miss for them, and he hits again threes at high percentage. He's not great on the defensive end, but generally would have been a nice choice. So I can see why he went a fair amount earlier than I thought he did. Now I've got to quickly come up with someone else to.
Yeah, you got 50 seconds.
Oh, here we go. Oh.
Okay, so Carmelo Anthony went to Looney Tunes. Dylan Brooks went to Looney Tunes as well. Mo Bamba to ID to one more. Hold on. So you drafted Etwan Moore whilst we were talking?
No, I haven't taken Etwan Moore. I've taken
no,
in
sorry,
my two
no,
picks,
Mo
I took
Bamba,
Mo
sorry.
Bamba, and I just took Justin Holiday.
And you just picked up Justin Holiday. Okay. All right, so hold on. You took Mo Bamba whilst we were talking.
Yeah.
And you didn't mention it at all. You just flew through it.
Oh, I mean,
amazing.
Multitasking is hard enough as it is. I have absolutely no idea how you're sort of balancing reading people's stuff, actually engaging me, making me think, and not and sort of. I think it's crazy how you run the pods, sort of. I mean, I know that sometimes Josh does, sometimes Hugh does, but the way you guys do that, if I hopefully can get on the pod sometime. But I'll just be able to do the answer a question or make a brief joke rather than any sort of your level of running stuff is really impressive to me. So I just had to get through and make the picks before my words stopped making as much sense as they should do.
Kind words are always a great way to get onto the show. Checks in the post. No, but thank you for that. But I'll let you, and we'll pick it up soon with you again. But good luck for the rest of the draft, and we'll get you on the pod
Cheers,
soon.
man. Cheers,
man. Okay. So that was Jonas, GM of ID to one more. Looks like another glitch with the feed. Okay, so who's gone since then? Kyle Kuzma to Raging Bull, Tristan Thompson to Too Good to Be Drew, Ivica Zubac to Chips and Kyrie, and Anthony Edwards to Team Evanson. Harry will be gutted about that. Next on the clock is Team Bean with 49 seconds to go. Oh, yeah, Big Hazza. I wonder how big Harry is, actually. I never met him, but I wanted Edwards and a crying face. What a surprise. Nick Whitfield is hoping that Tristan Thompson and Daniel Tice to become the starting centre for the Celtics. Terry Rozier has just been picked by Team Bean, meaning T-Raw Lions are on the clock. The difficulty I have previously. Oh no, and Marv, obviously. I say obviously. So Coach Marv plays in the local league that Kirk and I played in a pre-pandemic utopia. PJ Washington has gone to T Royal Lions, putting OJ's Mayo on the clock. Wow, the picks are still flying through. Kendrick Nunn went to OJ's Mayo. Aaron Baines went to London Loop Lonix. Puts Wade County in the spot draft. Wade County is Miami Heat superfan Tom Lamming, who's written some bits for us, and I think he's also done some stuff for Miami Heat UK. Just getting some water. Got a bit dry then. Larry Nance Jr. to Wade County. Harry Giles III to Team Azza. Harry Giles III has been fantastic for the Blazers in pre-season, and I am loath to put any stock in it because Mario Hazonia did me last year with his pre-season performances for the Blazers. But fingers crossed Harry Giles can actually produce another season. Torian Prince to James Harden Magnum Pi. Jordan Clarkson to Time to Jingles Sicko 16. Pick is, I'm guessing, Richard, are you Nottingham Gam? Yep, he is. Okay, cool. Do you want to jump in? Or what would do? Get you in. You'll just need to, once you've had those picks, jump into the chat with Kirk. The live pod audio channel, basically. So Kent Shell Shockers, that must have been an auto pick. That was rapid. Okay, whoa, hold on a sec. Derek Favors has gone to Captain Kirk. Will Barton to Andre Base. Yeah, apologies if it's lagging. It's telling me my internet's not that great at the minute, which is a bit of a surprise because I don't usually have much issue with it, which is a little bit annoying if it is. Okay. So Trey Burke went to Shockers, Malik Beasley to Liverpool, to Nottingham Gam, and Landry Shamet to Corby Steelman, which has Steelman back on the clock again for their 9th pick. And they've taken Cedi Osman, which puts it back to Nottingham Gam, and then we'll get him to jump on. Good night, Hoopin' and Luton. Past his screen time. Okay. Still some solid pickups out there. for bolstering rosters. Can see a few things that I'd consider steals in the draft. Let's have a quick look. Kelly Olynyk to Nottingham Gam, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope to Liverpool, and Rashawn Holmes to Kent Shellshockers. Okay, Kirk, do you want to send Richard on? You there, Richard?
I am. Hello.
Hello, how's it going?
I'm well, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. First time we've spoken, so nice to, well, audibly spoken, so nice to connect. Enjoying the
Yes,
draft?
first time. Sorry?
Are you enjoying the draft?
I am. It's been stressful. It's been more banter between me and Harry. Than
Okay,
anything, to be
so
honest.
you and Harry are boys.
Yeah, we know each other from uni.
Nice. So Harry said he played one fantasy season before, so were you in that one as well?
I was, yes.
And how did you fare against him?
I came second.
Where did
I
he,
think
what,
he
out of
came
the two of you,
I
or?
think it was 8 or 9. I can't remember, but like half the people didn't know how to really pick players because they'd never really watched the NBA before. So
Sometimes the best sort of fantasy league to be in.
yeah, to be honest.
Okay. So you picked up Marc Gasol with 159th pick, and you picked up Kelly Olynyk with 162nd pick. Talk us through your
did.
choices there.
I thought Kenny Olynyk had a pretty good bubble and potentially could be a very good person to come on for Miami. And I think Marc Gasol could also potentially be a starter for the Lakers. So I think they were
Yeah,
pretty justified, to be fair.
I think Olynyk sort of showed out. Was it the first finals game they won where he dropped something like 30 or something, and it was just a completely different style of play to Bam
Yeah.
Adebayo having been in there. I'm surprised they didn't use him more actually in the finals after that performance. But hey, I'm not Eric Spoelstra, or
That's
Spoelstra
true.
rather. Marc Gasol, that's a risky one because he's getting old and he's been
He
injured a
is.
couple of portions of last season, particularly. He shouldn't have to do much heavy lifting though in LA. He can sort of fit
Yeah.
into a nice
And I
role there,
think
so I can kind of
I think
get
he could
that. He's a
probably be
great
carried a
passer.
little bit by AD, a little
Yeah,
bit, and
it's going to be
yeah.
interesting to see how that front court pairing bolsters. Talk us through some of your other picks. I'm just trying to see if I can spot your roster now. Here we go. I can do it this way, which is going to really annoy.
So obviously I got the second pick and had to pick my boy. I had to pick Giannis. I feel like he's gonna have another really good season with the Bucks. I think my second pick I chose Sabonis. That was kind of off what you said, to be honest. I think you'd made a really good point there.
About sometimes it's better to blend the two stat categories rather than one.
Yeah, kind of like a double threat, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was a bit of a risk probably going for Miles Turner in that way, to be honest, because we don't really know where Sabonis is going to fit into the team. So
Yeah,
with
well,
him.
Miles Turner might not be there. And to be honest, Miles Turner needs to up his game respectively. He could be absolutely a double threat, and he has the ability to spread the floor. So if he performs,
Yeah,
that
exactly.
could be a very, very good pick for you.
I think more than anything, I was quite proud of the Jaylen Brown pick because obviously Kemba's going to be out for a bit till January, and he's probably going to be the secondary ball handler in Boston. So that was a very good pick.
Yeah, Jaylen Brown is a solid choice. You've got Delon Wright, Mikal Bridges as well, Buddy Hield. Buddy, I'm assuming you've gone for just threes and field goal percentage,
literally
essentially,
just
is the hope.
threes and goal. Yeah, basically.
Nice. You're obviously a huge Bucks fan. How relieved
I
are
am.
you by the recent news?
It was probably the most stressful few months of my life, to be honest. Like ever since the season ended, I think it was just more the fact of like, how the hell are we going to get ourselves out of a gutter like this? Like when he actually goes, but I think it was more of a shock than anything that he actually re-signed. I did not think he was going to re-sign. I thought he was going to go somewhere like Miami, to be honest.
I've got to admit, the longer it went on, the more I was convinced he would leave, and I was buying into a lot of other options and various conspiracy theories about where he'd end up. So to have him stay must be a huge relief. Are you expecting a similar output from the team this year, or do you think they've taken a step back a bit?
I think Drew Holiday is definitely an upgrade over Eric Bledsoe. Maybe just because he's probably more consistent from three. I don't really know how he's going to like perform in the finals. To be honest, I really don't think we're gonna. I think we're gonna probably be a very good regular season side again. I don't necessarily think we're gonna probably progress in the finals that much, just because I think the East is a lot more stronger this year with Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta looks scary. I don't know. I think it's gonna be hard. Potentially, maybe go for a few more trades before the deadline. But I think it's just going to be another really disappointing finals appearance, and then we can hope for something in for next year. Maybe get a few free agents.
When you say a disappointing finals appearance, are you saying you'd be disappointed if they got to the finals, and it was only that they got to the finals?
Not disappointed. No, I meant I think it'd just be another disappointing playoff.
Right. Okay.
Appearance more than anything.
Okay.
Yeah, it'd be amazing if we got to the finals. If we made it to the finals and we lost, I think that's an improvement.
Yeah.
Over a long period of time. So
yeah,
we haven't
the
been there
East
for
has definitely become more troublesome this year as well. You mentioned obviously the Nets. You mentioned the Hawks as well, who have just a huge amount of new talent to somehow mesh.
Yeah, I think it just depends, because I think the Nets are the one team that I think are going to be hit and miss, because obviously they have a new coach in Steve Nash. We don't know how Kevin Durant and Kyrie are going to perform together. And yeah, it's going to be a hard one, I think. Hello?
I think Mike just dropped, so we keep on going until Mike comes back.
Oh, I think he's
You
back.
back, Mike?
Maybe, yeah, he's back.
Guys,
I think I can see him moving on the.
I can hear you. Don't know what's happening, but I can hear you. I'm surprised you can't hear me. If you can.
Yeah, he's talking.
Yeah, I don't know why I can't hear you though. Well, I can hear you. Sorry. So I can see myself moving. So the stream's there. Can you hear me on the stream? Okay, you let me know when you can hear me. In the meantime, I'll just run through the people who've been picked in the interim. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. You can hear me now, yeah?
Hello.
Rashawn Holmes has gone to Kent Shell Shockers.
I don't know.
Kevin Herter to Andre Drummond base.
Oh, can you not hear me? Oh. Yeah. Yes, I can hear you on the stream.
Okay, I think we're caught up now. You can, because I've just heard myself back for like 20 seconds. I think you can hear me now, yeah?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, okay.
I can hear you through the stream, but I can't hear you through Discord.
Okay, so this is madness. I can just hear myself. This is bizarre. Can hear you.
Yep.
Cool. Where were we? We were talking about the Eastern Conference and their difficulties that they faced in it. Do you know what? This is madness. Rich, can you still hear me now? Can you hear this?
I can hear you, yes.
Okay, that's cool. So let's just find out before we let you go what your team name.
Oh no, I
Where
can't
did
hear
that
you.
come from?
Really? I think we were talking about Milwaukee. Yeah. It was. I can still hear you, yeah. Yeah.
For anyone listening right now, all I can hear is
Oh no, I
me.
can't. What?
Can you? uh, okay, I think we, as you can obviously tell, there was some significant technical difficulties there. I'm not sure what was happening. All I could hear was me talking on a 10-second delay, which was bizarre. Okay, so there have been a host of picks. I'll run through them quickly. Rashawn Holmes to Kent Shellshockers, Kevin Herter to Andre Drummond Bass, Jarrett Culver to Captain Kirk, Danny Green to Jingles, Troy Brown Jr. to James Harden Magnum Pie, Devin Vassell to Team Azza, Darius Baisley to Wade County, Terence Ross to London Lupilonics, Thomas Satoransky to OJ's Mayo, Taylor Horton Tucker to T-Raw Lions, Norman Powell to Team Bean, Eric Gordon to Team Evanson, Cole Anthony to Chips and Kyrie Sauce, Cody Zeller to Too Good to Be Drew, Marcus Morris Sr. to Raging Bowl, Cam Reddish to ID to One More, Jackson Hayes to Looney Tunes, Chris Boucher to Looney Tunes, Derek White to ID to One More, Maurice Wagner to Raging Bowl, Alex Burks to Too Good to Be Drew, Chips and Kyrie Sauce have taken Jeremy Lamb with the 185th pick. We are now in round 10. I think that covers it all. So let's see who's next. On the clock is Evanson. Team Evanson, which is Sambo Evo, I believe. It's the GM. Let's see where he goes with this one. He's already got Chris Paul, Lou Williams, Kawhi Leonard, Brandon Ingram, Jonas Valanciunas, Spencer Dinwiddie, Brooke Lopez, Anthony Edwards, and Eric Gordon, which isn't a bad roster actually. Apparently the technical issues were like some kind of modern interpretive art form. I'll take that. I will take that absolutely. Let's have a quick look. So 5 seconds left for Evanson to make a pick. It's going to auto pick for him, I think, and he's taken Willie Cauley-Stein. Okay. Team Bean are on the clock. His roster so far, and he's already picked, but he's just picked Nerlens Noel, Ben Simmons, Zach LaVine, Patrick Williams, Pascal Siakam, Marcus Aldridge, Marcus Smart, Norman Powell, Kobe White, Terry Rozier, and Nerlens Noel. And Rudy Gay has just been taken by the T-Raw Lions. T-Raw being Tommy Rawlinson. And OJ's Mayo are on the clock. So the roster for OJ's Mayo already is Schroeder, Harden, Paul George, Kevin Love, Nurkic, Markkanen, Hassan Whiteside, Kendrick Nunn, Thomas Satoransky, and he's just added James Johnson. We might get someone else on in a second. Chat through. We're now at the point where we're 10 of 13 rounds, so teams are getting close to their final roster positions. next on the clock is Lupolonics. They've got 25 seconds. They've just made their pick. Daniel Tice, which puts Wade County, who've already picked Patrick Beverley, which puts Team Azar on. And I think we've got Tommy Rawlinson on the line. Can you hear me, Tommy? Apparently not. Okay, that's fine. Kirk will let me know when Tommy's in and we'll pick him up then. Oh, he's in. Tommy, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey, Tommy, welcome on. How's it going, man?
I'm right. Yeah, I'm trying to find a pick in a minute.
You getting ready for your next pick? What pick have you
Yeah,
got? You must have picked fairly recently. 188. Oh, you've got a while to go for your next one. 213. So you took with your last pick, Rudy Gay, was it?
Yeah, really, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So talk us through your draft strategy so far. What you were trying to do, what you've managed to do, anything you're particularly pleased or not pleased with?
It was a bit risky taking Zion and the Miller Ball back to back, I think, but if it pays off, then it'll be good.
Yeah, no, that's a fair comment. You've gone quite a young team by the looks of it. You've got Lonzo Ball, Tyler Hero, OG Anunoby, Zion Williamson, and Jaren Jackson Jr. as your starting five. Isaac Okoro on the bench. Your oldest guys probably by a long shot. Well, Rudy Gay and DeMarcus Cousins. So what made you go for someone like Cousins in the roster? Just the potential that he's low valued but high reward.
Yeah, I feel like if he stays healthy, then we've got big numbers. But yeah, again, he's got that injury still.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully, he can come back to some form of former self at least. Jaren Jackson Jr. is out at the minute, but he's like I said earlier, I think potential double threat. Zion's a potential double threat. OG, I expect to have a bigger role this year. Tyler Hero is going to shoot the lights out, hopefully. Lonzo's the big question. I know that he's sort of re-hitched his shot and everything like that, and he should get a lot of assists this year, but it's whether he can add in any other categories as well. You're a big Ball family fan, aren't you?
Yeah, I've got a Melo Ball jersey. But,
Has that arrived now, has it?
Big in the NBA.
Nice. What is it about the Ball family?
I think it's impressive how LeVar's trained them all, basically. I know Jello got dropped from the NBA, but impressive.
Yeah, to get three brothers into, either in the league or on the fringe of being in the league, it is quite a remarkable achievement. Do you like the way that he's marketed them?
Yeah, I think the way you put them on like a platform, like as if they're not untouchable, like I don't know how to describe it. It's like
it's just a different route entirely, isn't it? As to how that,
yeah,
it's fascinating how he's managed to engineer the position they're all in now. I think he was on a KD pod the other day. I haven't listened to it yet. I saw it pop up in my feed. So he himself has there's a pseudo celebrity sort of side to it for him now as well. It's just, I don't get the fascination with him. I just think he's a mouthpiece. But certainly to get your kids into that position is an incredible achievement. I'll take my hat off to him for that. In terms of their on-court style of play, who's your favourite out of the two who are in the NBA?
Definitely LaMelo Ball. I've always said from the start that he would be the best out of all of them. I think he's took parts from both of his brothers, put them together. I think he could do a lot better defensively, but if he works on that as well, I think he'll be unstoppable in a few years.
Yeah, well, potentially we shall see. I mean, I've got to admit the highlight passes I saw from his first game, I was certainly like, okay, this could be interesting. So he's got the potential to be something special in the league. Outside of the Bulls, though, what sort of players do you follow mainly in the NBA? Who's your kind of go-to guys for just highlights and who you, because you play as well, I believe. So who's the kind of people that you look at and say that's who I'd want my game to look like?
Mainly LeBron, but obviously that's just highlights. Everyone watches LeBron. Jaren Jackson, I watch a bit, and DeMarcus Cousins. Obviously, I'm a center.
Fair enough. So you're playing uni down in Kent. You're a centre. How tall are you?
I'm only 6'8", but in the UK it's obviously big.
Yeah.
I'd rather play that forward role, but
nice. The 6'8" is pretty big, especially down in Kent. You don't get many 6'8" guys down this way.
Yeah.
Is there anyone on your list that you were trying to get and didn't get?
Well, I thought Luka kept dropping, but I knew that was going to be unrealistic. So I thought Tatum, I think got picked 1 or 2 before me. Zach LaVine was another big one. I tried to get him, but he was gone. And Kobe White, literally got picked right before I'd like to pick him.
Yeah, no, that's one of the things, isn't it? It's just as you go to get someone, they just disappear. Have you got a shortlist for your next few rounds, or is it just a case of you're going to just have to play it on the fly?
Is it a Kongwu? I'm going to try and pick him, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
But other than that, I think I'm going to try and look for a guard, but not many great guards left.
No, well, we're getting now into the doldrums. I think we're 200 picks in now, 202 picks in. So we're getting down to the really sort of niche players who we're looking for specific stats they want to bolster their rosters with. All right, well, I'm gonna let you get ready for your next pick, which is coming up in sort of 11 picks time. But Tommy, thank you very much for jumping in. We'll catch you soon, and no doubt we'll be chatting on Discord very shortly as well.
Yep, thank you.
Cheers, man. Just a reminder for everyone, if you are not already on the Discord, it's discord.me/double-clutch. Number of picks have flown through since Tommy jumped on. We've had Dwight Powell went to Team Azza. Tyler Johnson went to Magnum Pi. Monte Morris went to Time 2 Jingles. Ish Smith went to Captain Kirk. I think Kirk probably picked him based on his name alone. Paul Millsap went to Andre Drummond Base. Gary Harris to Kent Shell Shockers. Rajon Rondo went to Liverpool/LA, and Kent Bazemore went to Nottingham Gam. Taco Falls. I don't know whether Ginger Shack is trolling, but with the 200th pick, Taco Falls was selected by Corby Steelman. The 201st pick, PJ Tucker to Corby Steelman again. DJ Augustin to Nottingham Gam. Markeith Morris to Liverpool/LA, and Nemanja Bjelica to Kent Shell Shockers, which puts us firmly in round 11 with just two more rounds to go, basically. Tom Hall, who you'll recognise from Monday's podcast, has jumped onto the live stream now. He's finally made it back from wherever he was. He wants to get in the waiting room. We'll get him on in a moment. Richard Fang, who took Taco? The answer is Ginger Shack. Kurt, can we get Tom on? We're getting pulled in, and then Kirk will let me know when he's good to go. Okay, so we've now had. Oh, hello. Aaron Nesmith has gone to Andre Drummond Base. Dorian Finney-Smith to Captain Kirk. Thaddeus Young has gone to Time Jingles. Maxi Kleber to James Harden Magnum Pi, and Nicholas Batum to Team Azza. So I think we've now got Tom in the waiting room.
Yeah, Mike, you all right?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, nice one. It's been a bit of a manic evening. I've been elsewhere in a meeting, kind of drafting in secret, and now I'm back for the business end.
I love that. When you said I can't, I'm not going to be around till after like 9 or something like that. some ridiculous time. I wondered what the heck you were doing, but you're obviously drafting in secret at a meeting. That's dedicated. I appreciate that. How's your draft gone so far?
It's going all right. I was a bit. I was wondering how far Luka was going to drop. I couldn't believe Harry Harrison, with the number 5th pick, decided to take the Karl Anthony Towns is going to be really disengaged this year and left Luka on the ball. I thought that was appalling. So I was surprised to see him fall. I got Westbrook with my first pick, who is a double-double at least every night, so I was fairly happy with that. Now it's just last 3 picks. It's like, do you take a flyer on some young guy who's not done anything yet, or it's like, who's the best player on the board, who's the guy with the most upside? So
I'm going to give up I'll call it a trade secret, but it hasn't worked for me yet. Usually at this point,
okay,
I look for someone who's injured and could come back at some point during the season, and then I stash them on my injured reserve. But that's just going to start. I wonder if that's going to start a massive drive for someone to pick up people. I'm not going to mention any names. So you picked up Westbrook with your first pick. You've got Jamal Murray, Gordon Hayward, Harrison Barnes, Mitchell Robinson, Colin Sexton.
Yeah, starting centre.
RJ Barrett, Kyle Kuzma, Marcus Morris Sr., and Moritz Wagner, whatever you want to call it. I've read through too many names tonight. Happy with your roster?
Yeah, I think so. I kind of started drafting loads of guards at the start, and then had loads of holes at centre and at power forward. So I had to kind of change my strategy a little bit and start looking for positions rather than just best player on the board. But now I think I've done that all right. Instead of just looking at last 2 picks, now I've just drafted Luke Canard, who might play a bit of point for the Clippers this year. It's just kind of taking a flyer on some young guys
holding a conversation.
Pardon?
I said you seamlessly drafted him whilst holding a conversation without even mentioning it.
Yeah, holding back the blind panic. But I didn't do any research for the start. I've done loads of research for like the guys that are going to be left for the last 3 picks. So I've got a load of names written down that probably, I'm imagining none of them will get drafted. But...
Well, that's fairly impressive. I'll just run through the players who've been picked since you jumped on. We've had Josh Hart went to Wade County, Matisse Thybulle went to Lupa Lonix, Okongwu went to OJ's Mayo, Bol went to T-Raw Lions, Ennis Cantor went to Team Bean, Dwayne Dedman to Evanson, Jeff Teague to Chips and Kyrie Sauce, Bobby Portis to Too Good to Be Drew, Luke Kennard was your pick, obviously Raging Bull. Talk us through your team name.
Well, it was either going to be, I'm on the clock again now, man.
I did hear that.
I'm going to delay that question.
Concentrate on the pick. Concentrate on the pick. Get your list out. Talk us through what you're going through.
So, George Hill's still on the board. I think he's going to start for OKC. So he's a potential. He's just a bit boring, though, isn't he? That's the thing. I think I'm going to go for him.
Perhaps the best.
And he fills 2 positions. I like those guys that can fit more positions. They come in really useful, I think.
Yeah, multiple position guys are absolutely fantastic for this, where you can just flex your roster significantly with them around. And I'm surprised it took until the 11th round for me to 12th round for me to mention that, actually, because that might have given the game away for a few people earlier on if I'd have let that one slide. After that, we've had. Let's go on then. So you made your pick, George Hill. Team name, Raging Bull.
Yeah, so I did I can't say that I made it up myself. I did have to Google what are some good fantasy team names, and I quite like the ball pun. So it's obviously the classic Raging Bull film. Just put a spin on it for Raging Bull. It was either that or Big Balls, or that Suck on My Balls or something like that. But I thought, let's keep it clean.
Yeah, I was going to say that was the last one wasn't one that I thought you'd have gone for. No. Okay, so after Luke Kennard, we had Aaron Holiday go to ID to One More, Shake Milton to Looney Tunes, Lonnie Walker the 4th to Looney Tunes, Jakob Pertl to ID to One More, George Hill to Raging Bull, and then Dario Saric has been taken by Too Good to Be Drew. So overall, you've got to be happy with some of the names you've got in that roster.
Yeah, I think so, and it's versatile. That position thing is really useful. Like we said, having guys that can fit like either forward spot or either guard spot down the line when you've got guys that aren't going to be playing every night. You can throw them in to get you some extra points.
Yeah, agree. That's one of the key things where we've tried to keep this the amount of churning low by limiting the amount of players you can, or player transactions you can have each week. I think that that makes having multi-position guys, versatile guys, all the more important. And you clearly clock that with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of your 13 spots all being multi-positional players. So hat tip for that one. So
I've only got 2 guys who are centres, so that's going to be the next one coming up, I think. Do I take a centre with my last pick, or do I leave it with just Mo Wagner and Mitch Robinson? It's going to be an interesting one.
It is an interesting one, because if neither of those are playing on a night, you need to fill that slot.
Yeah.
Difficult. What you could, I shouldn't be giving. What you could do, like I say, is you can pick up players off free agency. So you don't have to take the centre now. You can take the injured player, stash him, and then bring a centre in through free agency. So that there is options like that. You don't have to commit at this point, but I feel like I'm influencing now, so I'm going to step back from it. Who's on the board at the minute? Captain Kirk. That's why I can see the stream feed flickering because he's just scrolling through people. Okay, so we've had a load more picks go through now. We've had DeAndre Hunter to Chips and Kyrie Source. Trevor Ariza has gone to Evanson. Lugens Dort has gone to Team Bean. Kevin Porter Jr. to T-Raw Lions. Cameron Johnson to OJ's Mayo. Kevin Knox to Lupolonics. Royce O'Neal to Wade County. Patty Mills to Team Azza. Chris Chioza to Magnum Pie. JaVale McGree to Time 2 Jingles. Marquise Chris to Captain Kirk, and Josh Okogie to Andre Drummond Bass, who's reverted back to his Minnesota picks. If he does well with a team full of Minnesota players, I think that's like an ultimate troll. That is. Is there anyone whose draft strategy has impressed you so far that you've spotted? Although I doubt you've been able to keep too much attention to that as you're in a meeting.
No, I've not. I've not really been able to see like who's been taking what guys. I've just been keeping track of his picks. I was really annoyed. I was about to take Cole Anthony, and then I think he went like 1 or 2 picks earlier. So that was like my biggest, like the guy that I just missed out on, and I was pretty gutted. So I thought he was going to be one that hopefully would go under the radar, and I'd managed to pick up a little bit earlier than everyone else. But obviously someone else kind of got that feeling as well. So I just missed out, unfortunately. I'm just wondering now. I think we're probably going to see a run on centres as people start to think, oh crap, I've not got anyone to fill that spot. Because like we said, it's not the most exciting one, and they don't pick up loads of points other than rebounds for the guys that we've got left in now. So
yeah, I think might have to rethink that next year and just drop that as being a singular position, which I'm sure will upset a lot of traditionalists, but nah, pointless anyway. We're almost on to the final round now. So I will hang on, here we go. Nick has said, this is where I learn it's been Tom drafting players I want one pick before me every time, including Hill. So you must be doing something, or I would say right, but not necessarily right, but certainly upsetting for someone else. So you must be.
It was Nick who just wanted to draft all of the Knicks roster, and I've ended up with a couple of players in RJ and Robertson. So apologies, Nick, for messing that up for you.
No worries. Okay, well, I'll let you jump back off, and we'll fly through this final round and be off relatively quickly, I think. But cheers for jumping on. I'm sure I'll be speaking to you again soon on the podcast.
Yeah, nice.
Cheers, Tom. Okay, so TJ McConnell has gone to Kent Shellshockers. Alex Len has gone to Liverpool/LA. Malik Monk to Nottingham Gam. Joakim Noah has gone to Corby Steelman, which is... I know why he's done it, because Noah is basically Ginger Shack's greatest, favorite ever all-time player. So he's blatantly taken him as can't believe how quickly it's flown by. can't believe I managed to talk for this long. I can't believe I've managed to talk this long without having any water. Well, I ran out a while ago. I think that yep, back. Okay, that was fun. Don't know why the internet keeps dropping tonight. I shall have to contact Vodafone. And had to stop myself from swearing then. Okay, so round 13, the final round. Quinn Cook has gone to Corby Steelman. Isaiah Thomas has gone to Nottingham Gam. That could be a good pickup. Kyle Anderson to Liverpool LA. Daniel House Jr. to Kent Shellshockers. Naz Reid to another Minnesota player, to Andre Drummond base. Derek Jones Jr. to Captain Kirk. Shabazz Napier to time 2 Jingles. Timothy Luwawu Cabarro has gone to Harden Magnum Pie, and Eric Pascal has gone to Team Azza. So we are not far away now with just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11 picks left in the draft. Don't think anyone's going for my tactic of get someone who's out injured just on the chance they come back early. OJ Mayo on the clock. Let's have a quick look here. Juan Herman Gomez to Wade County. Gary Trent Jr. to London Lupolonics. Jalen Smith to Kevin Love's OJ Mayo. T-Raw Lions are on the clock. Dennis Smith Jr. has gone to T-Raw Lions. Team Bean are on the clock. Oh, man. I'm back again, dropped out again. Classic. What have I missed? Sekou Doumbouya has gone to Team Bean. Bruce Brown to Team Evanson. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 picks left. Really not far to go at all now. Avery Bradley to Chips and Kyrie Sauce. Good pick from Nick. Picking up Campazzo, I don't know how to say it yet. Did you see the backspin pass he did today? That looked, or last night rather, that looked insane. On the clock now, Raging Bull. Raging Bull took their time, went with Thon Maker. Okay, he did go for a centre and a multi-position centre and one with a ridiculous frame as well. That puts ID to one more on the clock. Let's see what Jonas goes for. Wes Matthews, that could be a bargain basement pickup right there, just like his contract was for the Lakers. And with the final pick of the inaugural double clutch fantasy basketball draft, we have, I would do a drum roll, but my jaw's hurting where my tooth was pulled, and I think doing some vibrato with a tongue would actually probably make my mouth bleed. Let's have a look. Who have we got picking? Toons are on the clock. You know what I think they're going to do? I think they're just going to let it wind down and auto pick for them. But we shall see. Running it right down. 30 seconds to go. Glad I didn't do a drum roll. "15 seconds. Who is he going to take? The atmosphere is tangible. The draft is complete. Let's have a quick look. I can't even see it. All I can see is the team Nick drafted. So I don't know who, after all that, I don't know who was picked for the last pick. Oh my gosh. Oh well. We can find out, I'm sure. Okay, so I think what we're going to try and do now is get everyone. This is going to be insanely insane. Insanely insane. This is going to be carnage. Kirk is going to try and get everyone in and see who they think. Essentially, we'll see who got the best picks and have a quick group chat. Kirk, let's go. How are we going to do this? Okay, I can hear my audio, which suggests that you've unmuted the line and you're getting people in. Who have we got in?
I'm here again. Right.
I'm here.
Yeah, I can see a list of people popping through. I can see Harry, Jonah, Richard, Tommy, Tom Hall. Is that everyone, Kirk?
Yeah, that's everyone in there.
Sweet. Wow, group chat. Interesting. Okay, that was the end of the draft. Let's come to Kirk. I had you on first. Let's come to you first. How did you find it? Was it stressful all the way through to 13? Were there points that were more or less stressful for you?
Other than the 5 monitors and trying to look after this rowdy bunch in the waiting room.
I don't think we were that rowdy.
No,
We
that's
were
been
that
good
bad.
trying to pick the players, and really it puts your knowledge to the test that I haven't got very much knowledge other than listening to you guys every week.
Well, don't blame us if you get it because you don't put it up very well. It's not our fault. Don't try and pin that on us. Harry, you reverted to your Timberwolves. You doubled down on your Timberwolves approach. How confident are you?
I actually there was a few of us at the end. We were just like, well, who do we think has got the best team? And I went through it, and I've decided that I don't actually think my strategy was awful. I actually think I've got. I'm not by any means going to say, I'm gonna win by any means, but I think my team is better than a few of them.
What actually happened was you looked at my team and said, I don't think I've done that badly, actually.
Yeah, it was funny. Me and Harry looked at Tom's team and just went,
Absolute disrespect.
I'm going to pull up some of the teams now. So,
Sorry,
Harry, what was your team's name again?
I'm Andre Drummond the bass.
Oh, that was it. How did I forget that? Andre Drummond the bass. So you've got D'Angelo Russell, Kevin Huerter, Will Barton, Brandon Clark, Karl Anthony Towns, Ricky Rubio, James Wiseman, Devontae Graham, Tyrese Halliburton, Paul Millsap, Aaron Naismith, Josh Okogie, and Naz Reid. You're really confident with that?
No.
No. Okay.
No, I'm not. I will put the feelers out here immediately that I am open to trades. I've got too many point guards, and I need an actual half decent forward and shooting guard. So all the GMs that are watching on the Twitch or in this chat right now, feel free to offer me some half decent small forwards if you want Devontae Graham, and we can have a chat.
Fair enough. Tommy, you're in the chat. Did you at the end of the draft go your way you were hoping? You were talking about getting maybe some point guards. You managed to end up with Dennis Smith Jr. And you got Kevin Porter Jr. as well. How did your last few rounds go for you?
I just picked I look to score most points really.
Okay, so
Right.
you double down on scoring as being the main drawer for talent.
I've run out of options, really.
That's a good way to be. Okay.
I went Bol off the fact that he should have been playing more last year, but
Fair enough. Jonah, how did it go for you?
Yeah, all right. I think I wasn't trying to expect too much of myself being the first year I've done it. It seems right. I'm a little bit concerned. I didn't think I've got a few people on day to day, and Derek White who's just fully out, but he's far down the list, so I'm not too worried about it. Generally feeling like it's okay, and I'm kind of also think it might be sort of a fun thing to use it sort of in the way that I use fantasy football to just watch a few different teams that I wouldn't normally watch and keep an eye out for the players that I've got in my team, just to get a bit more widespread viewing around the league.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the best things about the fantasy leagues is how it pushes you to actually check up on other people who you wouldn't normally watch. So obviously you've got Kyrie, you've got Brogdon as your backcourt, you've got Otto Porter Jr., Marvin Bagley, and Joel Embiid as your front court. That big pairing. Worried at all about injuries?
Yeah. No, I'll be completely straight up. I probably more about Embiid than anyone else. I think. I think obviously if like Kyrie has a slight injury risk, and obviously Marvin Bagley had that injury last season as well. But I feel like he can more. I actually feel quite good about Marvin Bagley. I think he'll come back and has a good chance of proving himself. But I think Embiid's going to be great when he's on the court. But yeah, it was a bit risky. You were asking people earlier when was sort of the most stressful point of the draft, and I do think it was the first pick for me that I felt like I had to take Embiid because he's so good. But how long he's going to be on the court for, I'm not too sure.
Yeah, no, that's a difficult one. The first pick's always a tough one. But you've doubled down on centres quite significantly. You've got 4 players who exclusively play as centres. Worried at all that limits your flexibility?
A little bit, and so maybe similar to Harry. If anyone's looking for a centre that's then maybe I can offer you something. But I was trying to have fun with it today, and I did have fun with it. So I've won already, is how I see it.
Fair enough. It's the taking part that counts, is what they say. But I've always find the drafts are super fun and super stressful. So I'm glad you've enjoyed it. Richard, are you comfortable with the Nottingham Gam? I didn't get to ask you what the heck the Gam was for.
It was a nickname I had since I was very young, since I lived in Australia. Don't know why. They called me Gam. Don't know why.
Okay. That's really random. But cool. Okay, a random nickname. I still think it sounds like a cut of pork. What have we got with your roster? You've got Delon Wright, Jaylen Brown, Miles Bridges, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Domantas Sabonis, Buddy Hield, Miles Turner, Marc Gasol, Kelly Olynyk, Kent Bazemore, DJ Augustine, Malik Monk, and Isaiah Thomas. You picked up IT last, I think, and that was.
I did, yeah.
I guess that was just the guy says he's back, he's ready to go. Let's see it. We'll see what he can do if he can do anything.
Funnily enough, I actually saw in the draft select menu that he was with the Clippers, and I was like, oh, I think Isaiah Thomas is a pretty good pick. Tom and Harry actually corrected me. He's currently in free agency and doesn't have a team. So
that's correct.
If anyone's open to any trades,
trade for a player with no team. Well, so I guess like the thing that he is out there, he could be picked up by a team. But yeah, you might want to drop and re-sign before the season starts. Sign someone else if he's not on a roster by then. But he is telling everyone he's back to the player he once was. So who knows? Maybe.
I believe it.
Tom, having had your roster slandered. Are you less confident in it?
No, I'm backing myself. I couldn't believe the slander that I was getting, to be honest. I think a lot of people, and this is not naming any names, but a lot of people draft it in the way that like, oh, this would be a good team if it actually played together on the court. Whereas I was thinking like purely about the point scoring categories and turnovers and all that kind of thing. And double doubles were a big thing for me. So having Westbrook with the first pick, he's going to be a double double every night, you would hope. And then like he's very capable, obviously, of doing a triple double. He averaged it a few seasons ago. So I'm just hoping that if nothing else, he can kind of carry the team for a bit.
Yeah, certainly I wonder if he's past his prime for fantasy purposes, but he absolutely tears apart fantasy leagues with what he was doing with his triple doubles, because obviously you've got double digits in two categories, three categories for a triple double, and then you've got the double double and the triple double that comes with it as well. So that's 5 categories he'll score for you, and so he can be a really, really useful tool to have. Everyone enjoyed it then. It was worth staying up till 11 o'clock on a school night. Awesome. Everyone confident that their teams are going to win it?
Of course.
Brilliant.
No,
I'll take that. It's delayed.
No.
There's no confidence there at all.
Isaiah Thomas
Awesome.
is going to do it for me.
I don't doubt that for a second. Wicked. Well, I think we'll probably end the stream there. But Kirk, thank you once again for putting this all together as you always do. It's much appreciated, and doing it whilst drafting. That was great. Everyone else, thank you very much for joining in, participating, watching, jumping on and chatting. It's great to have a fantasy league that's 20 people strong and ready to go. So you have how many days now? 5 days to make your changes, drop your Isaiah Thomases, and get ready for the season tipping on the 22nd of December. But for anyone who's not already, make sure you're following us at Double Clutch UK, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Make sure you're on the Discord, discord.me/doubleclutch. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
One of us is in deep trouble.